Today guys, we're going to be exploring what I would say is probably one of the most iconic places in the UK, in Wales, especially through the Industrial Revolution, the industry, and more importantly the coal. So we are going to explore Rhondda, and first of all I just want to show you this. So these buildings here were kind of built to clear the roads. So as you can see, the roads behind me, you've got a lot of rockfall. So these places were iconic, and they'd have, you know, a guy staying there pretty much 24/7, living there, and he would clear the roads to make way, you know, so people could get in and out of these places. But this one is quite famous. So the guy that lived here last, or well, I say last, probably about 30-40 years ago, he used to build like these things out of plastic, and he'd recycle like bottles and little bits of plastic and turn them into characters. They've obviously gone into disrepair now, but this one you can kind of see a chair. There's a couple of different ones up there. There's a house up the top, and he'd make them out of like mesh and metal, and then put like ribbon, plastic and other bits with it, and they were colourful. And I remember seeing these as a kid. I'd pop down here to see my grandparents, and this was one of the places my dad would always stop, and it was just fascinating to see. And I remember it when I was growing up, but as I got older, obviously I think the guy must have passed away, and that was it. He didn't no one else carried on the tradition, and it's quite sad to see that it's gone into this state. But it was actually incredible. When I was a kid, I used to love stopping here, looking forward to this, and this is one of those places that just brings that back nostalgia. But that is the house, and today, as you can see, the Valleys has gone more into wind turbines and clear energy, renewable energy, rather than the coal that it was based on. So today we're going to explore the Valleys. Let's go on this adventure. So I wanted to show you the Blind Rhondda tunnel, which leads through the mountain onto the other side, and that would have taken the coal, passengers, whatever, with it. And obviously when Margaret Thatcher and Arthur Scargill closed the mines, everything else went along with it, because obviously there was no costings, there was no funding for these kind of things. So the only thing here now are these allotment kind of sheds, and obviously there's a couple of dogs and stuff there, so people still come here and visit these places. And you've got these mountain ranges, but there isn't much here, so quite disappointed with that. There was talks of opening that tunnel back up as a cycle track a few years ago. I don't know whether that's still happening, but with funding and costs and everything else, I'd imagine it's been put on hold, especially after things like Brexit and just the cost of living crisis and everything else now in the UK. I'd imagine they've got better things to spend their money on, or you'd think so. But yeah, this would have been a really busy place back in the day, and yeah, let's explore the rest of the valley. Are you from the area? Yeah. Just out there, I'm doing a small video, and just obviously a little bit of history. So this was the old shop.
Yeah, that was the shop there, and there was the post office.
Yeah, and obviously this was the school.
Yeah.
And then that pub. Yeah. Still open, or?
They're renovating it now.
Oh, okay.
Been shut for a couple of years, but
yeah.
I think it'll be over the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting.
Any other questions?
I was trying to find the tunnel I was, but I couldn't.
No, but you wouldn't find it. You can take a point you to where it is.
It's closed off on this side, or it's been filled in, is it?
Well, there's an entrance. You can't get in there. They've got if you want to go down there, it's down there.
But it's got a. From what I was speaking to someone who owns a horse up the top, they basically saying it's a manhole cover, and they go down into it.
That's right. Yeah.
So obviously the photos I'd seen online, that's from the Blind Gwynfi side.
Yes.
So
and that's the old photos of that one.
Yeah, so that would make sense. So that's another adventure then. That is. That's not for now.
Yeah. That's a pit for there. She's a bit of an hill.
Yeah.
That was a pit.
Yeah.
If you go up there, you'll see a big concrete thing with slabs of concrete on there covering up where the pit was.
So you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it opening. And there's one just down the road, just halfway down the road there. That used to be called Treorchy. I think that one was called the Hook and Eye. Right if you go up to it, you'll find a very, very old concrete from the 1800s. If you go up the hill up there, on the side of that mountain.
Yeah.
But that's one hell of a walk now. Now, if it was a nice day and I had a bit of time, I'd actually walk up and show you to make it any problem. It's so, it's really, and you can't. There's only one road going up there.
Yeah.
Don't take a left. Just go straight up.
On the bus turning and straight up.
Yep. And you come to the bus terminus and you see a big gate. Open the gate and just go up that bit of a hill there, and just go to the top of the mountain. You can't miss it.
Okay, lovely.
You find it straight.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. So guys, a bit of history there, and let's go up and see it. I found the cap of where that guy just said the old mine would have been. So this would have been where the shaft would have gone straight down into the coal seam. Obviously been covered up now with concrete and then a couple of blocks put on top. Whether this would have had some sort of plaque on it back in the day, can't really see much here, but this is where they would have got the coal miners down into the ground, and then the coal out, and then out onto, well, probably horse and carriage first, and then onto the lines and out from there. So anyway guys, as you can tell, I'm out of breath, very unfit, but you can see the kind of the history. The other mine shaft that he mentioned is just behind those trees there. That's not for now, and this place would have been steeped in history, but for now we're going to explore the rest of the valleys. Let's go. So I thought I'd show you these, because these aren't something you see every day, and they're definitely not something you see anymore. But like these outside public toilets are everywhere in the Rhondda, and yeah, this one stinks, but I'd imagine they're still used, and yeah, they definitely don't make them like that anymore. And there's a lot of them about. Let's see how many we can spot along the way. So I thought I'd stop here, Treorchy, and this place is pretty much as far as you can go on a railway line, and they've just started to do this track up for the new metro, which basically gets you to Pontypridd and links you up to Cardiff and then to around the rest of the UK, I guess. But this has cost them absolute millions to do. They've electrified some of the lines. The new metro, it goes up a little bit further, but as you can see, the history in this place is unbelievable. So this is the old boys club here, and then the old railway canteen there, and I'm guessing quite a few people still visit these places. This place here, this has been going for well, nearly 100 years now, the Treorchy Boys and Girls Club. But the history in this place is unbelievable, and I'd imagine back when the miners were here, that girls, boys would have come to like a youth club here. I don't know if you can see it there, but it says Treorchy Boys Club, and they would have explored, or they would have, you know, things to do, I guess, in the area, whilst their parents, fathers mainly, are busy, and then obviously mothers working in the mines, working in the shops. This would have been somewhere that they would have hung out, just rather than being on the streets. It would have given them some sort of, you know, place to come. See, I've read up on it and a couple of different bits, but obviously they've electrified the line and swell now, haven't they? So
yeah, they're going to. Yeah, the line is going to be electrified. They haven't done it yet.
No, of course, but it's cost $1 million, so they're probably spending their money, you know, slowly, aren't they?
well, it's what I was told. They haven't got the trains ready yet for The electrical ones. They still running the diesel ones
On that track?
on that track.
So that track still obviously goes?
Yeah, it's going. You know, it's.
Because it closed for a bit, didn't it?
Oh yeah, he'd been closed for about near 12 months.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and then obviously you've got the railway club or the canteen there, is it?
That's yeah, the railway canteen there.
Is that still going as well?
Yeah, it's not open every night.
No.
Certain nights.
So they do like bingo and stuff in there then, is it?
Huh?
Bingo and stuff in there?
Bingo. They do have concerts in there. They do have what do you call it, sometimes on a Friday night.
Okay.
Live artists, you know,
Yeah.
and bingo. And if people book it if they want wedding parties or things like that.
Nice, nice, nice. For you guys, well, if you've lived your all your life?
Well, I was born around this area.
Okay, so that line's quite important to you then. So.
Well, yeah, I was born further up the valley.
Okay, I've just done Blindcombe, is it?
Blindcombe, I was born.
I've just done that now. So
Have
I went to look for the
old tunnel.
The tunnel, but obviously that side's capped, Blindgwynfi side, but Blindcombe is closed. It's filled in, isn't it?
No, it's opened. They were trying to reopen the tunnel for put a bike, what do you call, through there.
Well, I was told it's still closed, so they haven't dug out that side yet. This side, so they've.
Well, I thought they had dug it out.
No, they haven't dug it yet.
Have they?
No, they haven't dug it yet.
Oh well. Well, I know that the trains won't ever run there again because I think people have built houses on where the old track was over in Blindgwynfi.
Yeah.
You know, I know it'll never be open as a railway again.
No, of course, but obviously as a cycle path, it'd be nice to link up the valley with the rest of.
You'll be able to cycle, but only cycles though. You won't be able to drive.
No, of course, but if you could cycle, you know, Swansea, Port Albert, anything like that, it's nice to.
Well, I remember that going.
Oh, okay.
I remember because I was kids when we were kids up there. You know.
You used to play on the line.
Well, yeah, and we used to go in there because there was a signal box there.
Yeah.
Because it was a single track. There's only one train could come, one from this side, and then the other train from the other side.
Yeah.
And of course, the bloke on the signal box, he had to give like some sort of key for the trains, to make sure that they didn't meet in the tunnel.
So they pass back and forth the key.
Yeah. So, I mean, we used to go into the signal box and have a chat with the signal man, So I remember all that, like.
Yeah. Sad to see it all go to. It's just gone, isn't it?
And I remember two collieries up there.
Yeah.
Two pit heads.
I'd seen one now. I was speaking to a guy up there, and he showed me one where it was capped. Obviously, they got the stones on top of it now.
Yeah. There was one pit which they called the new pit, which is the top one up of all, and there was another one then a bit further down, which the name they had on that was the Hook and Eye.
That's right. Yeah, he showed me that one. That was on the top of the mountain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating.
No, there was one. No, there was a colliery. It was a colliery, it was a pit head.
Okay.
There's one on the mountain, right, going into the mountain, which was a level. There was a level up there as well.
Okay.
And that was going into there was a track going, a tram track going up there, and it was dug into the mountain.
So a lot of history then.
That's where my father was killed in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sad, and obviously a lot of that happened around here, I guess, didn't it?
I mean, yes. What is it? 70 odd years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, tragic. And I'd imagine a lot more of that happened, and obviously as things progressed and safety got better.
Under a fall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever work in any of them yourself, or?
No.
No?
No.
They kind of closed down as you?
No, they were still working. And my mother said we would never go down on the ground.
Obviously, of course, because of what happened to your father.
Never.
Yeah.
10. Then I moved to Treorchy there.
Yeah.
And I've been here ever since.
And you never left? They're nice.
Never
nice.
left.
Oh, it's a fascinating place, isn't it?
People I know in Blindcombe that still live in the same houses that they were born in. And they're the same age as me. Up there.
So they've lived there a long time.
They've lived there all their lives.
They'll be born there and they'll die there.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a thing in the valleys, you think?
Yeah, I think so. There's some people like I got two sons now. One is living in Bristol. The other one's living in Blackwood.
Yeah.
And the one living in Bristol, he went to college and he said, once I move out to the valley, he said, not coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when, like I said, there was the factories in Treorchy and what have you. They've all gone.
Yeah.
Polycross factory where they made clothes. Gone. There was a factory in Treorchy, EMI, which they made electrical stuff. Gone.
All gone. All gone out to India and China and stuff like that.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's just...
I got an old photograph in the house of Blancombe, how it was, years and years ago.
Yeah.
And you see it, you think it was a slum.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've lived here all my life. I'm 76 now. I ain't gonna move.
No.
I ain't gonna move from here.
No.
You know.
Would you get the train then down out to Cardiff and stuff like that?
Very rare. Very rare. I don't go. I don't travel much.
So you do your shopping in Treorchy, Treorchy.
Treorchy, Tonopandi, and that's about as
and that's
far
as
I
far
go.
as you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, nice to meet you.
All right.
Pleasure. Thank you. Diolch.
So long.
Thank you.
So long.
See you soon.
So long. Morning, good.
Right guys, well, you know, that guy, like he said, he's lived here all his life and he's 76. He said the people in the other place that we just visited, they're born there, they'll die there. And that's quite a lot of that in the valleys. Anyway, let's keep exploring.
Hi, mate.
Hiya pal, I'll have a 99 waffle cone please.
I don't mind.
Nice day.
No. You would have said that a couple of minutes ago when I
No.
was swinging it down with you.
No, I poured down today. It's like climate change up here, isn't it? It's completely different.
I want to know why we're not having global warming. We just get wet.
We just get the wet stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially as an ice cream man, you want it hotter the better.
I need the sun. There you go, my friend.
Thank you.
We got it?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
There you go, my friend.
Pleasure, thank
And
you
a
very
50.
much. Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diolch.
Cheers, mate.
Ice cream at the top of the bulk. Look at that for a view, guys. That is incredible. So, bulk in Welsh, English means like a gap. And I'm assuming that the gap they're on about would be that over there, which is heads to like South Wales, Swansea, and then you go out Ogmore on the other side. So there's a few different places, but you will not get a better view than that, especially to eat this ice cream. So guys, just stopped here now, and I'm at the top of the bulk. I was chatting to a guy who just pulled up, and he was having an ice cream as well. And he said the park and the dare collieries, the miners were charged a penny each back in the day, and that built the park and dare building down in the centre, and that was like a centre for the miners, and they basically had events on there. They had a cinema on in there. And still to this day, these things happen there. So they have operas there. They've had, you know, a large amount of well, just everything really. Just singers, you name it. They've had it all down there. And still to this day, that's still going. You can just about see it. If I get time, we'll go down and I'll show it to you. But this place is absolutely steeped in history. And you can see, you get quite a lot of bike people up here. You get a lot of like memorial stuff as well. Obviously, when people pass away, things like those crosses down there. People, I guess, want their ashes sprinkled up here. You know, if it's their, you know, place where they were born and they die. These are the places where people kind of, you know, they live and breathe. And especially if they're from the valleys, if they've, you know, they've worked in the mining industry, if they've had their 2 weeks holiday in Porthcawl, and then they've gone basically back to work here, they don't know any different. So people love it here. And like everybody I say, like, we don't realise what we've got on our doorstep. And they're probably right, you know, there's so much that happened here. Like they said, they had the boys' clubs, the girls' clubs, you know, the park and dare, the obviously the mountains itself. And I know so many of my friends that come here, you know, when they go over the mountains on bikes, push bikes, you name it, they do it. And these places are fascinating, but this place is beautiful. Anyway guys, let's continue this journey. Just chatting to the guy in the ice cream van, and talking about this bit of artwork up here. We'll try and get up to it now. And this is something that I remember coming to as a child, but never really come up this far. And Cymru am byth, Wales forever. croeso i'r gymoedd. Welcome to the valleys. And obviously this would head down into Port Talbot. This obviously turn right into Ogmore, and then left is down into the Rhondda, and then into Cynnon, into Taff, Pontypridd, so on. But this is something that is steeped in history. And as you can see, people come up here, obviously plant daffodils. There's even a cross there. Amazing. There's so much history here. I got a feeling this could be a longer video than one. Anyway guys, let's continue this journey. So this building behind me, the park and there, was saved by the park and the dare collieries, and the miners put a penny a week away, and this building cost £4,000 to build. Can you imagine building that today for £4,000? So they built a cinema and a theatre, and still to this day this is still a hub of the Rhondda. So you get singers like Max Boyce and things here, and they pull thousands of people a year. But that building there cost £4,000 in 1895 to build. You'll never get that these days, ever. Anyway guys, let's continue this journey into Treorchy, which is an award-winning town. Let's see what it's got to offer. So this high street's won the numerous awards, and it won the best high street in the UK. And it's quiet today because obviously it's Easter weekend and it is a Saturday afternoon, but they won it on marketing, on websites, and just a bit of promo. And it's nice to see that you've got a variety of shops here. Normally you go to a town centre and you've got vape shops, you've got barbers, and that's, you know, charity shops. This has got everything, so it's just nice to see. But like some of the stuff, I don't know what pillow talk is, but sounds interesting. Maybe it opens after 9 o'clock. Anyway, let's continue this journey. So this factory here is the old EMI factory, and this is where they used to make parts, electronic parts. They used to make aeroplane parts. They had MOD contracts and those kind of things. And obviously once they started to go, then the community kind of went with it. As you can see, this building here is all abandoned now, so it's all like closed off, and the roof is asbestos, so they can't take it down because it'll cost an absolute fortune. So they've kind of left it, and they've started to remove the buildings from behind to sort out the kind of the railway lines which we seen earlier. But these kind of places just kind of get forgotten about, and this would have been a massive building back in the day. Well, it is a massive building now, I guess, but it would have been a busy place back in the day. And now it's kind of just you know, forgotten about kind of community, and you still see people driving around here, but they don't really do anything with it. And yeah, these places, look at that. Shame really, isn't it? What a waste. And yeah, you see why these communities, these villages, these towns, people just move out. Like everyone I speak to, they all say, well, my son, my daughter went to university, and then they just moved away, and then they moved out of these places, which you kind of see why. There's no jobs here, there's no real, you know, ambition to kind of stay here. But I was just chatting to a security guard, and he was saying he moved from Birmingham to here, and his house, he spent, or he bought it for 10 grand. You won't get that anywhere else. Like, you will not get that anywhere else. And he said it cost him 20 to do up, so he had a house for £30,000, and he works here, so he's lucky. But yeah, these kind of places, look at it, just forgotten. And yeah, anyway, let's continue the journey. So guys, I thought I'd end the video today in the notorious Penrhys. So as you can see behind me, these council houses, some of them are probably bought now, but these ones are kind of abandoned, and some have even been demolished. So some of the ones behind me have all gone, and this back in the day had it had the story of being one of the roughest council estates in Wales, if not the UK, and you could probably see why. But they just sent everybody up here, you know, everybody who kind of, you know, criminals, whatever, just these council houses were kind of just built and they just dumped the people here and obviously just forgot about them. And this place is, yeah, it doesn't, I gotta be honest, it doesn't feel that bad anymore, but I'd imagine back in the day, we wouldn't be standing here. But obviously the community centre up there is just graffitied over. You've got, you know, a lot of broken windows, you've got a lot of different things here these days. But these places now are nowhere near as bad as what they used to be. I guess, you know, the sad thing is now you get a lot of people that are homeless and things like that, where they could be living in places like this, but they don't put them in these places. Like you can see there, the windows are all broken in that one, and yeah, it's tragic to see. But if you're homeless, I guess a house is a house, so I don't know why they don't do it, but it is a hell of a place. And I think this, I would say, is probably one of the saddest council estates, and I grew up in a council estate, so seeing this kind of thing, all the dilapidated buildings, obviously all the emptiness, kind of feels post-apocalyptic. And it, yeah, I can imagine like this back in the day would have been crazy. But they've got some kind of community spirit here, because look, you can see the Union Jack bunting, which I'm guessing would have been for the Jubilee. And yeah, these places are not as bad as what people say anymore, but I still think this had the potential of being a crazy place back in the day. Anyway, let's investigate further. Let's come across this, look at this. Old ice cream van, hot dog van. Look at that. Hey, beauty. Doesn't seem like that anymore. Maybe it's still got some life in it. That's quite mad to see thug life and the swastika on the metal there. So guys, I thought I'd end this video here in Penrhys, behind me the Lady of Penrhys, and from what I've been told and what I've done a little bit of history on, this was a pilgrim site in the 1500s, and this area here would have been where a lot of pilgrims visited, and apparently they still do. Obviously behind me you've got the notorious council estate of Penrhys, but the original statue was taken to London, ordered by Henry VIII and destroyed, and this is a fairly modern or new statue behind. But this is like a place steeped in history, and there was a hospital here as well, and this place had a plague of virus, and South Wales Fire Brigade burnt the hospital to the ground so that it didn't contain any more viruses, which is quite fascinating. You wouldn't expect, you know, that kind of thing. But this journey we've learned so much, and there's so much more to learn, and I've got to be honest, I've really enjoyed it, because, you know, I've got a connection with valleys, and this place you hear stories on, especially Penrhys, and it's not as bad as what people think, or say I don't think it is anyway. But anyway, I'll leave you with this view. Thank you very much, diolch, and hopefully we'll see you soon.